All right, so COMT gene, how, now we get into the why. We did a little bit of the why in the previous lesson with its link to noradrenaline. We're going to explore that further in this lesson as well. Okay, so we're just reviewing. Now, race to the front quiz. Again, more videos on how to do this, or a few tips on my Teacher Geeks YouTube channel. And anyway, here are the answers. Okay, so this never fails to get a lot of excitement in my classes. I really like it. This is pretty interesting. The race to sequence the human genome, pretty interesting as well. And then you can see, would students try to find out, this is just the hook, would they want to find out which genome they had? Space here, what do they remember about the warrior hypothesis? See if they can, of course, do this from their own memories without looking at their notes. Now, this, again, another Trier's social stress test replication. This one's based for children, though. So instead of doing a job interview, they read something out from a children's story. Now, they're doing this because this was the methodology used in today's study. Now, in the space here in the workbooks, can they show a diagram of how and why the COMT gene, so if you're a MET homozygote, you might have a higher stress response based on its effect with the brain. Just a basic activity here to try to get them something different, engage with the text in a different way. In order to find the information to draw this diagram, they can watch, read, listen, lecture. Okay, so this is reviewing yesterday's, and then here is some new information about how the COMT gene is linked with the brain, the hippocampus and the amygdala. Some really interesting stuff here on the hippocampus. We know its role in memory, but it also has a role in the HPA axis and the stress response. And you can read more about that on the blog post. So a lot of stress research links to not only the amygdala, but also the hippocampus. There was a whole lesson on that. It's in the lost lessons, but I took it out because it just got too into the weeds. It got too into the details, but it's really fascinating. So I do recommend giving it a read in the lost lessons or on the blog if you're interested. Anyway, so students should be able to answer that in their workbooks. Would love to hear what you think about the new workbook design, by the way. I tried to make it so it looks more appealing, easier to use, and also easier to use digitally and also in print for teachers as well. All right, next is the biopsychosocial model.